Excursions booked through GetYourGuide. Many vacationers feel ripped off.
Scams at GetYourGuide. I've been traveling for 30 years and have had the chance to see over 33 countries on this planet. Of course, I've also been a customer of GetYourGuide. I also did business with them once when I was self-employed.
Excursions booked through GetYourGuide. Many vacationers feel ripped off. Big promises, no annoying waiting in line at attractions. Yeah, right. Now there are even warnings about scams in front of museums. Watch out.
Well, folks, a bit of life experience. It may be that they advertise that. I've never booked anything like that. I'm just out and about and I always see at attractions that you have to wait. Yeah, and there isn't a fast track line for GetYourGuide customers either. So from everyday experience, I can say GetYourGuide customers have to wait too. How could it be any different if 20 GetYourGuide customers show up at the same time somewhere? Well, then probably 17 of them will have to wait first.
Where are the tourist traps lurking? We're heading to Paris, one of the most popular cities.
If you come to Paris as a tourist, be prepared, you'll have to stand in line everywhere. Sometimes for a long time, sometimes not as long. It depends a bit on you, whether you book your tickets in advance or actually line up at the ticket counters. So I recommend that all Paris tourists always book their tickets in advance.
Just like I said, that's not exactly a rare phenomenon these days. It happens all the time. I don't understand why the providers don't just make the tickets personal, like Deutsche Bahn does. Yeah? And then in my opinion, the secondary market wouldn't even be possible anymore. They're simply speculating that their offer will always sell out, and where the tickets end up clearly doesn't matter to the provider at all. Otherwise, I would set up a system like this differently.
A ticket to the top of the Eiffel Tower, taking the elevator all the way to the summit, costs 36 euros and 10 cents. We want to book that in advance. But on the official website, about 3 weeks before our trip, there are no tickets left. At the top of the search results online, we find an offer from GetYourGuide. Wow! 2 tickets for 250 euros, so 125 per person, instead of 36 euros and 10 cents. Is that already considered price gouging?
Price gouging? I don't know. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but with price gouging, I think the crucial point is that there's a dependency involved. So, for example, you have a burst pipe, there's only one plumbing company in your village, and now they want to charge 300 euros per hour per employee. I'd say that's price gouging. But if there's a second provider in the village, well, then you can just go to them, and that means the dependency is gone. So legally, I don't think you could accuse anyone of price gouging in that case.
Let's ask a lawyer specializing in travel law.
Basically, there are no regulations on how secondary ticket sellers can operate or what prices they can charge. Since there's no coercion for the buyer, the issue of price gouging doesn't really apply because I don't have to accept this offer. I can choose from thousands of offers online, and above all, I can also go to the original site.
For example, bookings for the Eiffel Tower open 90 days in advance, and then all the big providers immediately buy up all the tickets.
GetYourGuide responded to our inquiry by saying that they are only an intermediary and merely offer tour operators the opportunity to market their offers. GetYourGuide never influences the prices. Global Tours and Tickets is responsible for our Eiffel Tower tour.
Yes, that's exactly what I did. I even more or less planned my trip to Paris around the ticket prices for the very top of the Eiffel Tower. I saw that you can book tickets 3 months in advance. So I think I booked my Thalys ticket, which is now called Eurostar, for months ahead of time. And then I put a reminder in my calendar to go to the official Eiffel Tower website on that day. I also got my ticket for the top right away. Without champagne, I still remember that. That was a good decision because when you read about the champagne and everything, it all sounds great, but it was exactly as I had imagined it would be. Up there, they rather unenthusiastically hand you a plastic cup and a small bottle of champagne. I can't really judge the quality. So I booked my ticket on the official website and yeah, I think I paid less than 40 euros. I've often heard that large contingents are bought up by companies. And the method I just explained booking earlier, I always do that no matter when or where, and it's never let me down. Yeah, because especially when you're young, there are also opportunities to do things for free in Paris. For example, Napoleon's tomb is free of charge, but double check exactly what the conditions are. I think you had to be under 20 and be there at certain times, but there are definitely options.
The prices were based on a fair and competitive basis. Booking tickets, payment, and emails are all handled through the Get Your Guide website and the app of the same name. And the advertising also emphasizes everything happens with Get Your Guide. With Get Your Guide, you really have to search. Scroll all the way down the page, click on the terms and conditions, then scroll down again, and that's where you'll find it. You're not buying from us, but directly from the provider.
I already mentioned it earlier. I have also worked with Get Your Guide. It was about me wanting to offer insect cooking classes through them. I don't even remember whether I wrote to them or they wrote to me. In any case, I was in contact with them for a short time. At that time, I was regularly holding insect cooking classes at 4 locations in Germany, with groups of about 20 people in each class, spread across 5 cooking stations. I was represented through my own website and then through Jochen Schweizer, My Days, Yoli Days, and basically all the providers I would claim who were active in this event market at the time. I even kind of tricked them a little bit. On these platforms, you could only ever buy single tickets for the event. And if someone was clever, they would, of course, Google it, find my shop directly, and then see that 2 tickets were significantly cheaper than if you bought 2 single tickets from the providers. Yeah, they grudgingly agreed to that because otherwise I wouldn't have worked with them at all. And by then I actually already had a market position where I could negotiate terms with the companies according to my own conditions. If you need help with this, write to me. I offer coaching sessions.
And when it comes to reviews for the top dog Get Your Guide, a lot of people are upset.
I haven't had that kind of experience with Get Your Guide. But it also never happened that there was absolutely nothing going on. There was one time when the service just wasn't what I had booked. It was a trip in Senegal where I had booked a luxury bus. But then the air conditioning broke down. And have you ever sat in a car or a bus in the sun without air conditioning? So I think it was 39 degrees outside in the sun, and inside the bus, I don't know, maybe 50 or something. The air conditioning didn't work. The free water that was promised wasn't there. And then I complained afterwards, and I think I got about half the bus fare back pretty easily. The second time, I had contact with their customer service. That was about the fact that I had bought my first eSIM from them and just couldn't activate it. Customer service did help me with that, although only very minimally. I actually figured it out faster myself using the internet. The whole thing was pretty simple. Yeah, that was back then in Taiwan. And what I didn't know at the time, and what Get Your Guide also didn't bother to tell me, nor was it mentioned in the text, was that I just had to easily verify my passport with the provider once, and then the SIM card was immediately activated. At the moment, I actually still have an unresolved issue with them, and no one really wants to help me with it. So I'm about to travel to Peru, and I booked a bus ride with them. It's not much, about 5 kilometers or so to an attraction. If necessary, I'll just walk it. Apparently, one of the providers has now gone bankrupt. Whatever, they refunded my money and I just booked with a new provider. And now I'm not sure whether starting at 5:30, the new provider runs regularly to this attraction like the old one did, or if there's only one trip and I have to be there at 5 to 30 millimeters. And I'm not even sure exactly where that is yet. So I wrote to them about it. I contacted Get Your Guide as well as the provider. I haven't received any response for weeks from either of them.
According to their own statements, there are 35 bookings per minute. And for each one, the tour operator pays a percentage as a commission to Get Your Guide. Is there any chance of making a complaint?
Now you get there, you're standing in a line and have to wait, but you still go ahead with your visit to the Louvre. That means with the ticket, you paid for both the Louvre visit and not having to wait. You get your visit to the Louvre. That means the larger part of the service is fulfilled. And so the reduction you could get for having to wait in line is very, very, very small.
As long as you have to take action yourself, that you have to find solutions if something goes wrong on your trip and not Get Your Guide or their contractual partners, then you really don't have any problems. And it's actually quite a convenient arrangement. But it's just not a package tour on a fair and competitive basis. Well, what is fair? If Get Your Guide offers high prices, that's their business to begin with. If they manage to sell them, all the better. There's never a case of price gouging here because, first, as far as I know, Get Your Guide never offers anything exclusively. And secondly, it's not an emergency situation. It's a vacation trip. It's an event. So there's no dependency on the company either. And that means the prices are always competitive. There are also providers in France, something with an E. They do this as well, but they tend to operate in the high price segment. So you can book anything from day tours to month-long tours there, and they stay out of this 20 or 30 euro business. With them, prices start at around 500 euros and up. It's not surprising that they get those kinds of bookings. They have good marketing. They've done a ton of collaborations. Sometimes I was standing in front of museums thinking about going in, and I checked what the ticket cost at the box office versus on GetYourGuide. And then I actually booked through GetYourGuide, but using my Deutsche Bahn account so I could collect the bonus points. But by now, they're no longer part of Deutsche Bahn's bonus program. From a business perspective, this company definitely remains interesting because you can clearly see that they're significantly cutting back on their advertising budget. I really enjoy watching these kinds of consumer reports, and I watch them quite often. But this one, just wasn't really my thing. I got the impression that business models that have been well known for a long time from Amazon, booking, or flight search engines were being presented here as something completely new, along with supposedly brand new risks. But these risks have been more or less known to everyone for 10, 15, even 20 years now, I think. If you just want to know how to plan your vacation cheaply without any third-party companies, just check out the next video. Thank you.